But Kai Havertz was trending on social media yesterday. And I was like, what is going on? Like, he's not playing. I think he's playing today. Today is like, it's Sunday, right? No, Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah, so I think he's playing today. So I was like, he hasn't played. What could he possibly be trending for? And it's because a couple of Arsenal fans on social media, big accounts, said something to the effect of, if you like Dimitar Berbatov, then you'll like Kai Havertz. And that comparison was put out there. Now, before we get into it, hold on. I see you. Okay. They're not the first ones to make this comparison. Rio Ferdinand actually made this comparison as well. He said that Kai Havertz has a good feel for the game and reminds me a little bit of Berbatov. I think also Thomas Tuchel not only, compared him to Berbatov, but he compared him to Robin van Persie as well and Bergkamp. So this guy's been compared to so many top footballers, yet he's not really looking like Berbatov right now at Arsenal. I feel like I just want to know from your perspective, like, what kind of player do you think Kai Havertz is? I'm still very confused. Is he a striker? Is he a midfielder? What is he? What is he? Because they're comparing him to all these like kind of like strikers that are playmakers, but we're playing him in left center mid, and it's just a strange fit.
This is all nonsense for me. It's all absolute madness. Like, I can't believe what I'm hearing. Like, he played against Manchester City in the Community Shield, and I had people leaving Wembley, and I was there saying, this is a Van Persie type striker. I can't believe what we've got here. I'm sitting there thinking, I don't know, watch someone different then, because I did not see a Van Persie in that game. I saw more of a hold-up player, maybe an Olivier Giroud comparison, maybe. Like, that's being kind. But maybe at a push, you can say some of the attributes are like him, but I never saw any Robin van Persie's or Dennis Bergkamp's. I did not see a Berbatov. I saw. Okay, let me talk to you about Berbatov just 1 second. Let me tell you why this is completely outrageous. The Bergkamp one is ridiculous, and so is the Van Persie one. So now they've moved on to Berbatov because they've realised how ridiculous Van Persie and Bergkamp comparisons are. Now they've gone down a level, right? Not too far of a level, but they have gone down a level. So they're now talking about Berbatov. The reason he's nothing like Berbatov is because I've seen Berbatov's first touch, and it's one of the best in football that I've seen. I don't know if anyone saw his first touch, like what's it called, real against the MLS All-Stars, but it was embarrassing to say the least. So I don't know how we're comparing this guy to Berbatov when he can't trap a ball, and Berbatov can do it in his sleep. So where has this come from? I don't understand anything to do with comparisons of Berbatov. That will change soon. He'll be being compared with Wout Weghorst or somebody like that, because that's his level, right? The guy is not good enough, in my opinion. And we're gifting him charity penalties now, and all the fans are getting excited. That's literally the only thing we can do to give this guy a confidence lift. And then what he does is he chests the ball nicely and he lays it off to Martinelli, and we score. And that's it. The guy's an absolute legend again. Like, what is going on here? Is it because it was Arteta's signing? Because I didn't get this love for Pepe for 72 million. I was told he was a waste of money within 5 minutes. So why is this guy so much better than Nicolas Pepe when Pepe's actually got more stats and creativity and actually did create more? I don't get it, Jess. I'm not seeing it at all. To answer your question, where does he fit in? Well, he's not a left 8, that's for sure. He can't play there. The guy just gets in the way of people. So for me, I've always said what we should be doing is actually bringing this guy on, throwing him into the box with 20 minutes to go and seeing if he can try and make something happen. And that's exactly what he did against Manchester City, and it worked. So that's what I want to be seeing now. I don't want to see him starting anymore. I don't want to see him as a left 8 anymore. And if he is going to play in like a rotated squad like Carabao Cup games or some of the other games, then I'm more than happy for you to be starting him in that position. But I do not want to be seeing him in the left 8 because he gets in the way of Declan Rice. He doesn't fit in the number 10 role, in my opinion. But the other place that he could do is there in terms of the right-hand side in Ødegaard's position, because off of the right in an attacking kind of 10 position for Leverkusen, he was good. He scored 17 goals. Different league, 5 years ago nearly now, so it's a long time ago. But to compare this guy to anybody, why do we have to do this? Why do we have to compare players all the time? It's bizarre to me because I would understand the comparisons with somebody like Wout Weghorst or Yaya Sanogo, right? But I wouldn't be comparing him to Dennis Bergkamp and Van Persie's just yet when the guy's done nothing at Chelsea and he's had a poor start at Arsenal. People say it's a slow start. That's kind. That's kind. It's another word for being poor because that's what he's been so far for me. So might be a bit negative. I'm not negative about the Arsenal as a whole. I'm just negative about this guy because this guy has been a £65 million signing. And if he was 20 million, I wouldn't be going this mad about it. I'd be saying, do you know what? Fair play. We've tried to make it work. We know he's lower confidence. Arteta thinks you get something out of him. £20 million is nothing. Fair play. £65 million. We could have had Maddison for 40 or Diaby for 45. Nah, man.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Like, I think originally what happened is people immediately were like, "Oh, are you comparing him to Berbatov, like, in terms of their careers?" Because Berbatov scored many, many goals. So, and he was a very, very good player, So I feel like people immediately were like, "Okay, we have to shut that down." But from a playing style, I could kind of see it. Like I'm squinting hard, but like at the same time, it's like I just want to see Kai Havertz like come to life in a game and impose himself on a match. I just feel like the games kind of just pass him by. I don't really see games where Berbatov and Robin Van Persie and Dennis Bergkamp allow games to pass them by. They're involved. They get the ball and they go forward with it. They create. They score goals. Right now, Kai Havertz is basically doing wall passes. Like if we're being honest, like 1-2s with different players, wall passes, holding the ball up. Like he's not really doing I'm not saying what he's doing is not important, but what he's doing is not anything to write home about. When you look at what all the rest of our players are doing, like you see Declan Rice against Manchester City in the left 8. How many times he got the ball and ran forward with it, the forward passes he was making, he was getting into the box. Kai Havertz is very much so on the periphery of everything that's going on the pitch. So I'm having a hard time like connecting like to players that like make things happen. But Arteta needs to figure out what role he's going to have in play. Like, I don't think it's good for any player to be kind of lost in their career and not have like a set position. Because first we started him off at left 8. Now he's coming on and playing number 9. Is that the best way to get anything out of him? Or do you think we just have to pick a position and stick with it, double down on it? Because as a player, I just want to play one position, I think, if I'm struggling.
Listen, Arteta likes versatile players. I understand it, right? It's handy to have players that can play in more than one position. I understand why himself and Pep like that. There's actually playing positions and there's playing well in positions. And there's a massive difference for me. And Kai Havertz hasn't played well in these positions yet. So we found out that he can do a job up top because he's done it against Manchester City twice at the Emirates and at Wembley now. A job, not been outstanding, but he's got an assist and he caused a nuisance of himself in that position. So that's where I see him now. And people are comparing him to strikers. So why don't we just play him up top then if he's that great? And people are saying he's a Berbatov and a Van Persie and a Bergkamp. Well, stop playing him in the midfield then if he's those players. Nobody sat there and said this guy's a Fabregas or this guy's a Paul Scholes or this guy's a Vieira, have they? So why are we playing him in midfield? So for me, that's where it needs to be now. Fling this guy on, use him as an Olivier Giroud type, different dimension centre forward, and give yourself 25 minutes of this guy to see if he can cause a nuisance. And that's the way I see it. You know what I mean? And just lastly, Jess, like, I don't really understand why Arteta's done this. Like, for me, he's done this to himself. It's like standing outside in the rain and then complaining that it's wet. You know what I mean? You knew it was going to happen. Like, for me, this guy has no need to go and get this player, but he's decided to spend a lot of money and most of the budget on this guy and then, oh, not really sure where he plays yet. Give him time. No, we don't want no more time. This is win now. This is a win now season. This isn't give it a few more years and see what Kai Havertz can do. This guy's 24 years old, going on 25. He's had 3 years at Chelsea already where people have slaughtered him. And now we've bought this guy yet again. This obsession with Arsenal and Chelsea, it's just got to stop.